thine arrogance. Repent for thine sins. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent, 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 repent. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent for thine sins. Repent for thine arrogance. Because we don't, we'll be at the end. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent for thine sins. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent, 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 repent. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent for thine sins. Repent for thine arrogance. Because we don't, we'll be at the end. Repent for thine arrogance. Repent for thine sins. Because we don't, we'll be at the end. Just pick up a Bible and you'll know.
Again, my brother. Namaste. Salam alaikum. Lauma. Shalom, shalom. How you doing there, brother? And this is Howshua Amariel, the Israelite Organization of Unity. And I just wanted to share with you today that we have been getting the response we've been getting in reference to this show has been overwhelming. I thank you guys for calling us up and really checking up our website and dealing with the numbers, and it's been really beautiful. And the fact is that we've been getting phone calls from almost everybody, you know, of every nationality, and, you know, especially with the Bible part, you know, and just asking us about the scriptures. We've been having Muslims call us up, so Salam alaikum brothers, you know, asking how they fit into this thing, you know. So the fact is everyone fits into this thing. This is not something that's just centered around color. We are trying to solve a problem. And the problem essentially centers around reparations. Reparations is not just a problem for the world as a whole, but it's a problem for individual people, families, communities. If some people can receive it and others can't, then that's going to leave a void. And you're going to feel that not just today, but 100 years, maybe 1,000 years down the line. So it essentially will be America, Israel, and the various different other nations that have already signed, but essentially America and Israel to jump on into this thing and to give us reparations, to let us go. This is all we're asking for, to let us go with our reparations. The first time we had the brother Amariel speaking on this proposal, reparations. And again, we're going to talk again with this brother Ravine, Melvin Ravine Lee. He was the brother that was here last time. You brothers loved him so much, we just had to give him back again. Shalom, shalom, salam, my brother Ravine.
It's always a pleasure to be back.
Okay, and from what I understand, you are now the head person that is, you're in charge of the reparations struggle for the Israelite Organization of Unity in America.
That's correct. I have taken ownership and responsibility for the reparations for the entire organization of you. And one of the reasons I want to step up to the plate in that regard is because I think that there's so much misunderstanding around reparations, particularly among our people, because they feel like reparation is something that they really feel embarrassed to ask for. But it's not nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that we want to bring some pride and some dignity to. It's nothing to be ashamed of at all. And so I felt like that to do my part is to bring a positive spin on this reparation thing, not negative, and put it in a positive light for everybody, United States, Israel, the Hebrew Israelite, everybody as a whole, because I think that's something that we want to get past, get behind us, and then move on and turn the page.
You know, I think it's really beautiful how, again, but I commend you because you can deal with the reparations struggle from the Bible perspective, and now we have the proposal here, and we're dealing with the reparations struggle here from the legality issue. Mm-hmm. And also, we want to appeal to our brothers on the behalf of our past that we have been dealing with the struggle in America for centuries. Mm-hmm. And we have been dealing with this issue from the perspective here that we have here from a nationalistic perspective. We've been dealing with this thing from a nationalistic perspective. We've been dealing with this thing from a integrative perspective. And we've been dealing with this thing from the radical perspective. And we have a column here that we're going to be dealing with on how the radicals, how they essentially failed in dealing with the issues of reparations through violence, and how the integrationists have essentially got to the point where even W.D. Du Bois, he was a stern integrationist. He essentially threw up his hands and moved to Africa. Mm-hmm. And essentially we have here the nationalists, and these are the people that we these are the people that we ourselves are standing on the behalf of, these nationalists. And we're asking our brothers to stand up at this time, become men. Become men. Because how long can you stay in your mother's and father's house? When it got to the point, as far as me personally, I came to my father one day and I said, Dad, the light bill, the lights got cut off. And I said, pardon me, what we doing sitting in the dark? And he said, well, hey, I paid the rent. I said, well, we're sitting in the dark. Why didn't you pay the light bill? And he said to me, well, he said, well, you know something? I think it's time for you to move out. I think it's time for you to go. Because he said when you start getting to the point where you feel like you can run the house better than me, then it's time for you to leave. So I had no problems with my old man. I said, beautiful, give me a couple of weeks. I'm working. I got my car. Let me try to hunt down a place. So my girlfriend wanted me to move in with her, and it's time to leave. So we departed, and we parted in good, in good health. And my father taught me something then. He taught me that that when you get to the point where you feel like you're a man, I share this with my son, that it's time for you to go. So again, us as African Americans, we've been called, and most of us hate that word, boy. We've been called boys for the longest here in America. And one of the reasons why we really hated that word, and it's not really a bad word, but it's a demeaning word to African American men, because due to Willie Lynch, he came up with this mentality where to break the black man to the degree where they wasn't controlling even their own household, and use the term boy because it was the whole structure centered around the white man, the white woman, the black woman, and then the black man. So the black man was put into the position of a child to the black woman, a boy in turn. So the fact is, so now, since we're we went to Durban, South Africa, we talked about the reparations struggle there, and essentially the United Nations voted that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime against humanity. If black men pushed that forth, the United States government had walked out. We had stepped up as Americans, black men, and had went to the United Nations on the behalf of our people. And we were able to push this thing forward. And again, let me make this statement. We definitely want to give praises and honor to the brother Conrad World.
Yes.
He was one of the brothers that was inside, and that was one of the primary brothers that was based in there inside, while we were outside dealing with the issues of reparation. He was inside. It took a twofold effort to do this, and we just want to give that elder his due. But the fact is, we're not boys anymore. We stood up in the United Nations and we pushed this issue through. Now we're back home and we're saying we're not boys. Just give us our money. Let's separate peacefully. Let's give us our money and leave. And this money issue is the issue that we have the brother Ray Bean here talking about. Because basically what we're asking for is not so much a handout, is it, brother Ray Bean?
No, it's not. It's really, when you sit down and really think about what we're talking about here, you're talking about labor. Basically 400 years of free labor, and basically labor is the basis for wealth. And when you sit down and just consider the fact that 400 years of working and not being paid allow one to accumulate wealth at the expense of someone not accumulating wealth, then that's an unjust and unbalanced scale. And what we're talking about here is just simply a matter of what is it going to take to balance this scale. And that's what we're going to talk about in terms of numbers. A lot of people think in their mind, if we pay blacks reparation, in what form? We're still at the point right now of trying to convince people that we deserve reparations. Our people, that is. And then we can start talking about in what form. Our proposal clearly talks about that we certainly deserve reparation, and talks about why. And it also gets into the terms of what form we want reparations in terms of monetary as well as land.
So the fact is at what point